Hello everyone and welcome back to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel, your source for all things Everton. And Everton have just picked up a massive point at home against Tottenham Hotspur in a game which saw both sides receive a red card and a Michael Keane with a thunderbolt on the 89th minute, which rescues a point for the Blues. You know, arguably we could have had a lot more. I didn't think we played too badly tonight. Just obviously going into the game, Sean Dyche named an unchanged side from what has been, seems to be an 11, which he's quite happy to stick with at the moment. And, we're unbeaten in 4 games now. So, it's obviously doing something right to a certain extent. But yeah, so we went into the game. I think we frustrated Tottenham as we went on. We limited their chances, and I thought in the first half we were quite compact in similar fashion in the way we were against Chelsea a couple of weeks ago. The likes of Harry Kane, Son, Kulusevski were all kept very quiet. Not much between the two sides. Tottenham were very, very poor today. I thought that they weren't impressive by any means. Two not great sides, in all honesty, really, to be quite honest. But yeah, so we went in half time 0-0. We were very much in the game. Again, that common theme of no real goal threat at points. Damari Gray started up front. It didn't really stick for him. He couldn't really hold the ball up too much, and the chances were at a premium, really. Jordan Pickford, of course, pulled off a couple of big saves for us as well. It has to be said. I thought Jordan Pickford had quite a good first half. So we went in 0-0. I think we were quite happy with that. Quite disappointed that maybe we couldn't have got that breakthrough, but came out second half. And same again. I thought we started quite brightly the second half. And, Tottenham, there was a stage where we really had Tottenham on the ropes, I thought. Tottenham were just, really regressing. And I thought that we were the side in the ascendancy, and we looked like we were going to get a goal. I thought it probably would have been what we deserved, actually, because, as I say, we were quite comfortable. Spurs didn't really trouble us that much. And, as I say, Spurs very, very average, I thought. Of course, and then the game started to really turn on its head in the last half an hour. The last half an hour of that game is where the real action started to take place. And of course, that was the red card to Abdoulaye Doucoure. Listen, it's a red card for me. It is a red card. It has to be said. You can't do that in the game. We know this. I think he's probably let himself down a bit there, Doucoure, to be honest, because he was having an all right game as he has done under Sean Dyche so far. But yeah, he lashes out at Kane. He catches him in the face. Listen, Kane goes down like a sack of shit, doesn't he? And, it's quite embarrassing from the England captain, if I'm being quite honest. It's definitely a red card. I'm not disputing that. But, Harry Kane, for a player of his experience and everything that he's, perceived as this big role model and all this, to go down like that, there's no need for it, really. But there you go. Everton were down to 10 men. And soon after, we then conceded a penalty thanks to Michael Keane. Michael Keane, we've obviously seen him have a run of games in this side now. Quite a clumsy penalty to give away. We know he's got that in his locker, so it's disappointing to see him come out and give something away so cheaply like that again. Because as I say, Tottenham weren't exactly peppered in our goal with a load of chances. We weren't exactly under the cosh for large periods of that game. But it's a pen. Listen, it's a pen. He catches him quite clearly, and he goes down. And of course, we'd be screaming for it at the other end. So, listen, the referee couldn't wait to give that. Just as much as he couldn't wait to give the red card to Doucoure. And of course, Harry Kane steps up and he buries it as you'd expect him to. And Tottenham take the lead, and you'd think, oh, can we get back into this with 10 men? Not exactly blessed with goals in this side, but you know what? We kept chipping away. We kept in there. We kept having a go, and and then Tottenham, Lucas Moura gets brought on, and he actually throws in a really, really ugly challenge on Michael Keane, and fair play to the ref. He sends him off as well, which was the right decision. But just on the ref, I thought the ref was poor today. The ref was absolutely atrocious today. Completely lost control of the game. Linesman just completely bottled it sometimes in that game today. Really, really poor performance from the officials, I thought. And then, Michael Keane then redeemed himself, doesn't he, on the 89th minute. It's a strike, very Phil Jagielka-esque in front of the Gladys Street to rescue a point for the Blues, and probably deserved. We didn't deserve to lose that game at all. All things considered, being down to 10 men for, a large part of that second half, really keeping Tottenham at bay, really limiting their chances, keeping their danger men quiet, which we mentioned going into the game was going to be very important if we were going to come away with anything. And, Michael Keane forced him on the edge of the box, and it looks up, and it's a sweet strike, and it's a really sweet strike, and it ends up in the back of the net, and, the roof just comes off Goodison, and it's a massive point for us. So that's a point at Chelsea and a point at home to Tottenham, which I'm sure we would have took that, but we probably could have got all three if we continued with 11 men throughout the whole game. As I say, poor from Doucoure to get sent off in that fashion. He's an experienced player. He should know better than to do that because it's a definite red. Um, but yeah, I think if he stays on the pitch, maybe we could go on and get that goal. And I think if we go a goal up, I think it would have been a very different story because I didn't see much about that Tottenham side today. Really thought that they were going to trouble us. Of course, you give a penalty away to Harry Kane. You're asking for trouble, aren't you? But apart from that, I thought in the whole we were quite solid, and it's a big point. Come the end of the season, that could be massive for us. And as I say, we've got a point at Chelsea and then a point Tottenham. Another tough game against Man United at the weekend. But of course, after that, we start to have a few more fixtures where you think maybe can we start getting some more wins on the board then. But yeah, it's going to do the confidence of the world good in it. A point away at top side like Tottenham, who are obviously in the hunt for the Champions League. You're gonna take the positives from that, aren't you? And especially in the manner which we got that goal as well. So yeah, there we go. That's my thoughts on the game, just quite briefly. Big point for us going forward. We extend our unbeaten run to 4 games now, which is really good as well. Big game at the weekend at Old Trafford, which is going to be a big ask. Of course, it is. United not in the best form at the moment, though it has to be said. So we'll see what happens, and I'm sure Sean Dyche will go in with a plan. Obviously, Doucoure suspended now, so whether we start to see James Garner, who by the way I thought was quite impressive when he came on, that'll be interesting to see going forward. But yeah, that's my sort of initial brief thoughts on the game. Yeah, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.